my butt. Suck my butt.
How would you children like to suck on my chocolate salty balls?
Oh, you mean like a chocolate candy?
No, I mean my balls.
Yes.
Yes.
Ladies and the gentlemen, welcome back to the next edition
Suck my
of
butt.
SMB,
Suck my butt.
a South Park review.
My butt.
We also appreciate you if you don't identify as male or female and identify as whatever you want.
Suck my butt.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, the one gentleman that watches this podcast.
I'm Matthew Schaefer. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another edition. This is Imagination Land part number 2. As previously on South Park. Well, you know what? Actually, I'll tell you what. Why not, instead of me telling you what happened on the last episode of South Park?
Previously on Battlestar Galactica. What is this place?
This is Imagination Land. Allah!
Terrorists blow up.
We have to get out of here! Hold on, fellas!
Leave Butters.
Butters is left behind.
Terrorists have just attacked
Our
imagination. If the terrorists blow that barrier, all the most evil things ever imagined are gonna pour out. Allah!
Rockety Rocket breaks the barrier. Now we're at episode 2.
So that is how we got our previously. That's if you didn't listen to last week's recap and review, there you go. We're back for Imagination Land part number 2. And of course, as you kind of heard there, it looks like it starts off in Butters' room. But before we get there, let me give you a little backstory. It is the 11th episode of Season 11 and the 164th overall episode of South Park. This is SMB number 167. We're getting numbers right again. It also aired on October the 24th, 2007. It continues the story arc that began in the previous episode of Imagination Land and is going to climax in Imagination Land episode 3.
Oh.
So here's a quick synopsis. Stan and Kyle are being held in the bowels of the Pentagon until they tell the government how they get into Imagination Land. Meanwhile, Cartman, of course, simply will not rest until he finds Kyle and gets him to make good on their bet to suck his balls. So this is how the episode starts. We start with what appears to be Butters in his room. He wakes up to find his mother and father at his bedside. They cooked him breakfast. Butters explains about this weird dream of Imagination Land, only to find out that no, Butters, you're hallucinating and you're dreaming. So he wakes up in Imagination Land, having passed out, wet himself, and he becomes sad that his parents are never gentle to him.
Because one time Butters has actually dreamed about being back in his room. Butters has always dreamed to be anywhere else but that room, but this is so bad for him that he wants nothing else but to be back in his house.
That is a great call out. I didn't even think about that. Now, of course, the evil side of Imagination Land breaks through the barrier and charges at the residents of the good side. The terrorists, of course, yell and proclaim Allah, but they are actually killed in seconds by one of the creatures. The mayor of Imagination Land is then badly injured by Alien, and Butters is pursued by Predator and stormtroopers. I had to say it slowly so that way you understood that he's badly injured by Alien from the movie Alien. People, I just want to make sure that's clear. And Predator, of course.
So I think they're called xenomorphs.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
No, I'm just trying to help for the listening audience.
You know what? I just
Listening audience are called xenomorphs, and they were created by H.R. Giger, who really loved penis.
Dane is going. Whoa. Okay. Well, actually, I believed half of it, and then when you got to the penis part, I didn't know if it was real.
Oh, you think that's wrong? Just Google H.R. Giger.
Oh, it's real, guys.
He liked the cock.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, good for him. I don't know. I was never really big into Alien.
He was big in German, so he self-hated, but he would never admit it. That's why he drew really horny, dark, alien-like art. This is now a podcast about
You're kind of blowing my mind
movies.
right now. I never watched these movies because horror movies aren't just never really my thing. End up watching.
Matthew Gagemus, you have never seen any of the Alien films?
Seen them. I've watched one or two of them. They're not really into them. They make me laugh. And horror movies are supposed to be the opposite. The special effects, the acting, it just makes me laugh.
Hey, The first one's a horror movie. I think the best one though is the second one.
quote unquote good horror movie that I saw was Get Out. Like that was a really good fucking horror movie, but it also didn't have like shitty graphics and gore. It was a mind fuck, so it was really good. And then
that's one of my
black
favorite
guy
movies
eat him
of all
apparently
time.
for harvesting and mind washing. Get Out.
Agreed.
So let's go to a quick clip here now of the fallout in Imagination Land, and Butters, of course, awaking to find out that he's actually still in Imagination Land.
Butters, time for breakfast.
But, oh, geez, it was just a dream.
I used to read.
Come on, Butters. Mom's cooked waffles and
Salt,
nanas
pepper,
for you.
Easy-E.
Oh, Mom, Dad, I dreamt I was in Imagination Land and then terrorists attacked it.
You are in Imagination Land. This is a dream.
Huh?
Hey, wake up, stupid!
Your parents would never have
wake up,
breakfast
kid.
for you, dude. Are you crazy?
No, wait, I was back home in bed.
No, you passed out and peed your pants!
Look, the evil of Imagination Land is coming out.
That's now breaking through.
Ooh.
And let's as we
evil
did
characters.
As we did this last week, Joe, we actually broke down all of the evil characters that we saw here the positive characters we saw. So let's do it with some of the evil characters here, guys. I can definitely see what looks like some sort of Mandalorian right in the front. Is that what they're trying to parody, or what do you think that is?
I know you know what this is, Joe.
It's a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica.
my man.
The originals. I think I see Freddy on the right side of the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got Freddy Krueger with Frankenstein right behind, and behind Frankenstein, we got Man, Bear, Pig, Arm guys.
I'm guessing that's the Matrix robot, whatever, and all the way back.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, the standing one, that's actually from War of the Worlds, the Steven Spielberg edition. Those are the tripod walkers from H.R. Giger's classic. That's not who wrote that.
Just go back to that guy.
Also designed by H.R. Giger. Look at all those penises. Sorry, Joe, go ahead.
I think that might be a T600 right to the right of the center tentacle on the gimmick from War of the Worlds.
Yeah, and we got Swamp Thing up in front. We got Predator all the way to the left. Some of Satan's minions coming up behind Predator.
How is Swamp Thing a bad guy though? Like Swamp Thing is Swamp Thing.
You know, I mean, they got like a really tall creature of the Black Lagoon thrown in there. So
true. There's Jason Voorhees, the giant spider from Harry Potter.
Okay, what the hell is
or it could be it.
Where? Who are we talking about? You know what?
Spider. It might be it.
That or it's just Queen Spider from the Catholic religion.
There you go. That's what I was going to say, Dane. Boom. Proud of you.
Queen Spider.
I was going to
Queen
go
Spider, buddy.
Queen Spider.
And also, I think we have one of those, and I don't remember what they're actually called. Aliens?
Maybe.
Xenomorphs. They're xenomorphs. Okay.
All right. One quick question before we move on. For all of you listening at home and not watching, what the hell is this fox with a shotgun in the front? Why does he have a coat?
I don't
Why does he have
know.
a shotgun? Why does he have a realistic face? He's the strangest looking character out of all of these.
Again, not a big horror fan, but I know the character next all the way in the back, the guy who usually has the pins in his head or whatever.
His name is Pinhead.
Hellraiser, there you go.
Pinhead, Pinhead from Hellraiser, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's his name? Cool. Well, there.
Yeah.
All right. So those are a lot of the characters here. I was going to see if we can see. Oh, as they're zooming in, there's a ghost, a Grim Reaper. Butters, of course, is running away. All up.
Spooky.
What is? I don't know what this is. Some sort of Frankenstein elephant-looking motherfucker. I don't know.
Lord of the Rings, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be an orc.
Oh, okay. There you go, orc. God, you guys are so nerdy. I'm just kidding. I love you guys.
Fuck you too, buddy.
I have no idea what these references are.
Hey, everybody on Earth is nerdy at this point.
Predator, of course, the Stormtroopers, as we mentioned, and Jason Voorhees. Okay, here's some more here. We can take.
But how could the Stormtroopers be bad if the Empire did nothing wrong?
Right.
Medusa.
Who the fuck is the guy in the hat? Is that literally just School's Out for Summer Man?
That's Slash. I'm just kidding.
Unter Slashin.
Unter Slashin. Guten Tag. Okay, anyway. So we got that. There you go. So that's the characters there.
Nice.
And as far as the evil characters breaking through.
A lot of public domain, a lot of legal loopholes in there. You know, you saw like Captain Crunch earlier, but instead of Captain Crunch, he was like Captain Munch.
Right. Speaking of Captain Crunch, I ended up getting a box of Captain Crunch birthday cereal that was on clearance at Safeway. All
right, Matthew Gage, go ahead and give us your review of Captain Crunch.
The birthday crunch was pretty good. It tasted like a piece of birthday cake. And as per usual with Captain Crunch, it left my poop looking colorful.
Good. Because that's all you want from a good food and a good cereal is multicolored poop.
Yeah, there you go.
Feature that liberals want.
That's why I stopped eating Lucky Charms.
Yeah, too. Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops, and Captain Crunch will give you color poop, people. Matt Schaefer's poop wisdom.
It did not happen as a child.
Hold on, here we go. I got better. Matt Schaefer's turds of wisdom. Matt Schaefer's. Wait, one more. Matt Schaefer's brown nuggets of wisdom. Okay, anyway.
We are bringing you 8.5 Keurigs of wisdom.
9.5.
9.5 Keurigs.
Go ahead and rate this episode of the show 8 out of 10 Keurigs, everybody. 8 out of 10 Keurigs.
Back into the South Park episode. Now, at the Pentagon, the boys, that being Stan and Kyle, explain that they do not know how to get into Imagination Land and that some guy just showed up in a big balloon and took us to Imagination Land. The boys, of course, continue their explanation, and General Dector's advisor's comments it was probably through the Chinese portal to Imagination Land. Of course, he accidentally reveals the United States has one too, and he's, it's been around since the Russian Cold War. Not understanding sarcasm in this scene. Why don't you just tell him everything? Yes, sir. It started... Hey. The portal to Imagination Land started back during the Cold War. So they have that. We then jump forward to Cartman is then narrating. This is... Of course, one of Cartman's best dreams. I have dry balls. Balls so dry, they explode like dust.
He just like floats across the screen and his balls dissipate into tiny pecks of dust.
And of course, the bad dream ends with Kyle's mouth being sewn shut. Wow, that's a tongue twister. And then Cartman wakes up on a coach bus heading to Washington. So let's go to the I have dry balls dream. It's a great scene.
Night, the dream is the same.
Oh.
I'm on my way to visit my friend Kyle, because we had a bet that if I could prove leprechauns were real, he would suck my balls. And it turns out I was right.
This is a Gladiator reference.
Time to pay up, Kyle. But then... No! It's been taken from me. I have dry balls.
Here he comes.
Balls so dry.
Across the screen.
Explode like dust.
Greatest ball dusting sound effect.
No.
And it somehow took the shaft with it.
And I'm running out of time.
I mean, with someone like Cartman, you saw how angry he was when everyone was measuring. He's got nothing but ball. He's an 8-year-old boy, by the way, guys.
Are you okay, kid? No. I have dry balls.
And I'm running out of time.
And I'm running out of time. Okay, so now we're going to jump back to the Pentagon here, where we've learned that the Pentagon has called this Project Imagination Doorway, which, as they point out, that's not very imaginative.
False flag operation.
Is it wrong for me to ask questions? Is it wrong to see the truth? I can't just accept the version. I can base my logic on proof. Almost all the evidence points one way, but I'm like Charlie Sheen and Gloria Stefan. I need to know what really happened on 9/11.
11.
What really happened? 9/11. That's so obvious. How did we not see that before? You can check out that clip if you'd like to hear the actual Cartman sing on our TikTok or on YouTube.
That's Matt's Come Sail Away, by the way. You start that song, he's got to finish.
Yeah, it's my Come Sail Away. So back at the Pentagon, we mentioned Stan and Kyle are shown that portal to Imagination Land called the Project Imagination Doorway. The scientists asked the boys how they got into Imagination Land again, and the boys explained that they just went on a balloon with the mayor who just started singing a song. And once they started singing, they were like, oh, the doorway is opened by polyphonic tones. Keep singing, right? So they find out that the Imagination song, of course, is the code or unlock sequence, if you will.
It's much more than some chunky douche on a flying ship. It's an actual science.
Yeah, and the kids, of course, are not very happy about having to sing this lame-ass song. Imagination.
Kids are never happy having to sing lame-ass songs.
Right, so let's show a little bit of them singing the song here and trying to get the doorway open to Project Imagination doorway.
Imagination.
Good start. Bring it up a bit,
I'm
boys.
getting some electro feedback from the gate. It's weak, but it's nano-responding to something. Was there more to the imagination song? How does the rest of it go?
Imagination.
This is Whiplash 2018.
Imagination.
Not quite my tempo.
Really long and stupid.
I'm just about through playing with you boys. We're running out of time. You have to remember that song in its entirety.
It should have been a movie, and that guy should have been voiced by J.K. Simmons.
Oh, something.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so back in Imagination Land, Butters asks the dying mayor what should they do. He replies sarcastically that Butters, of course, should tap his shoes together 3 times and he'll be able to go home. And Butters is like, really? He's like, no, you fucking idiot. I was making a joke. Oh, and then he dies.
Extremely gullible, Butters is. Though I guess if you're in Imagination Land, I mean, shit, I'd believe that too.
Right? So Snarf shows up along with the Lollipop King, and they also ask the mayor what to do. He tells them to head to Castle Sunshine, which is through the Gumdrop Forest, and they must look out for the evil characters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we'll go to a clip of this. The evil characters have set up camp on the Yum Yum Mountain and discuss what should be done and by who, and who should be in charge by order of most evil. The characters can't decide, and suddenly out come our lovable woodland critters as they tell the others that, now come on now, we're all on the same side. They explain that they can't just waste time by arguing, that they need to find survivors and kill them. And as they decide to kill them, then maybe we should also rape their bodies and we can use their blood as lubricant. Yay!
Whoa.
Jason
I feel sorry for whoever imagined them.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody at home, go ahead and clip that, save it for later, blackmail Matt with it at any point in time you'd like.
So Jason Voorhees explains that, man, I do not want to meet the kid who dreamt up those things. Which, weirdly enough, though, they don't go right back to Stan. They go to Cartman, because it was Stan, obviously, who dreams this up. But the next scene will be Cartman at a phone booth in Washington.
No,
right?
No, it's Cartman that dreams him up. It was Cartman's Christmas story.
Right, it is Cartman's Christmas.
Stan was the main character in it, the boy with the red poofball hat.
Boy with the red poofball
Has
hat.
Cartman really created the most evil characters?
As Kyle points out, Cartman only created that story just so he could give Kyle AIDS and hey, you have AIDS.
Yeah, but he eventually did give Kyle AIDS.
He did good.
He predicted it.
Full circle, full of Chekhov's gun. If you show AIDS, you got to give someone AIDS.
You say can't give me AIDS. Or I like when Kyle does his impression. You just get me and you gave him AIDS. And his mouth gets all like chunky.
AIDS burger and push.
All right, let's jump to these evil characters having a conversation. So here's the evil characters now. Discuss who should be in charge.
Imagination Land is ours! Not all, foolish or not all. There are still parts of Imagination Land we don't control.
Tomorrow, we shall build our own castle right on this spot.
Who put you in charge, Kruger? I am the most evil character here. Nonsense! Your evil is stale.
I am the most evil imaginary character.
Headless Horseman.
Now come on, y'all.
Come on,
We
y'all.
shouldn't be fighting. We're supposed to all be on the same
And a
side.
little squirrel.
You're right, squirrely squirrel. Yeah!
What evil
bunch of
imaginary
critters.
characters are they?
They were dreamt up by some 4th grade kid as part of his Christmas story.
Now come on, y'all. We can't waste time arguing. There could still be survivors out there. We need to hunt them down and kill them.
And eat their flesh. But first we should rape them. How about we kill them and then rape their bodies so we can use their blood as lubricant?
Yeah! That's a great idea, Mary Bear.
Man,
That's
I
fine.
do not want to meet the kid that dreamt those things up.
That's fine.
They have Khan from Star Trek.
Also,
Khan!
also they've got Sagat from Street Fighter there. Is that in the background?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Sagat.
That's great. The woodland critters. I mean, common conversation in the Musk household, so that's fine.
Yeah, so those kids are, those evil woodland critters are, of course, pretty dark. Pretty dark. And of course, then we go immediately to Cartman, who's at a phone booth in Washington, trying to get answers out of the Pentagon on the phone to where Kyle is. The secretary explains that the information is classified, and then the advisor, of course, once again comes along and tells Cartman that there's no such thing as Project Imagination Doorway. Yes, Project Imagination Doorway. It was put together back in the 70s and 80s during the Russian Cold War. All right, thanks. So he goes on to explain over the phone, just basically breaking classified information here. No
Of
big.
course. That's fine.
Look, I want some goddamn answers. You brought my friend here to Washington. Where is he? What is going on?
I'm sorry, sir. That information is classified.
Classified.
Something is going on, and I have a right to know where my friend is.
There's somebody asking a lot of questions about what's going on.
Let me handle this. I'm sorry, but there is no such thing as Project Imagination Doorway.
There he goes.
Imagination Doorway. It was started in
right.
the 60s as a secret government project.
60s.
You can stop.
Imagination. Wait, maybe that was where he went really flat. Like
Yeah. Nation.
Nation.
Turned into a fucking band setup. No.
Yeah. Beginning musical theory.
Right. So,
Yeah.
because of that song, after finally figuring out how to get the song going, the portal does open up. And then we cut back over to Butters, snarf, and the Lollipop King as they're passing through the gumdrop forest, where they spot the evil imaginary characters torturing Strawberry Shortcake. The woodland critters appear to have now taken charge on deciding how to kill Strawberry Shortcake, and they discover nobody has AIDS, as they need AIDS to urinate in her empty eye socket. So they decide to go looking for someone with AIDS in the forest, and Butters and the Lollipop King run for their lives. So we'll show a couple seconds here from the onslaught of the woodland critters. And
Oh yeah, baby. Bring it to me now. No, not her eye. Leave her alone.
Now kill her.
That's my childhood queen.
Hang on, y'all. You can't
Wario
just kill her.
in the
That's
background.
not evil enough.
What do you mean?
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, Joker.
Yeah, that's super hardcore.
Super
Now, come on,
hardcore.
y'all. We can do better than that.
Hey, I know. Let's all pee in her empty eye socket.
Let's make her eat her own eyeball and then pee in her empty eye socket.
How about we get someone with AIDS to pee in her eye socket so she dies all slow like?
No lie.
Oh my god.
Nobody here has AIDS.
Is that
We got to have AIDS before we pee in her eye
He
socket.
can't just say something like that. You never know. You can't make a
fucking
broad
name?
statement.
The fucking Street Fighter character here in the left hand corner?
Akuma.
There you
I
go.
was just
Akuma.
about to call him out. There's Goro, center back row.
Yep, you're right. Goro.
See, I'm feeling like Matt with aliens right now. I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, oh, is that Hadouken or is that one Hadouken?
Video games, yeah. I know all the video game characters.
I mean, he does do a Hadouken. You're not wrong.
Yeah, you're right. You're actually right that he is a parallel.
Yeah, yeah. Street Fighter's the game where you punch a car, right?
That
Yes.
does happen. Street Fighter 2, yeah. Street Fighter 2.
Hey, that's my favorite part too. There's
amazing.
Cerebus down on the bottom right being petted by the Cylon.
What is the pink thing in the middle?
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
That would be Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh, just on crack. Got it. Oh, you're talking about that strawberry shortcake.
No, we're talking about the pink thing between Darth Maul and Medusa.
Yeah. In front of Goro.
Looks like Danzig to me.
Could be some Lovecraftian shit.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so yeah, there's I don't know who this chick is all the way on the right hand side with the gray hair. It's in front of the.
No, that's Admiral Khan from Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
Gotcha.
Wait, Antonio Montalban. Who's this chick here with the gray? I mean, that's
it's
fair.
Ricardo
That's fair.
Montalban.
He's
Who's
fucking.
this
He's a cutie. All right. So yeah, I would look at him and go, "What a Latina queen."
So back now at the Pentagon, now that they've got the doorway open, a band of soldiers, along with Kurt Russell, because he appeared in a film similar to the situation, are preparing to go into the portal. And it's at this point in time, Cartman suddenly breaks through into the room, and it's at that point Kyle's then forced to go with him to fill his side of the contract. Of course, General Dector is pissed. How the hell are people just getting in here like this? Because everyone just starts the whole, everyone can crash through the window, and there's the security of the Pentagon is apparently that poor. So let's go here to Cartman about to crash in. I like Kurt Russell's response. What am I even doing here?
Kurt Russell. I don't understand why I'm here. I'm just an actor. Yes, but
Get in there, Kurt Russell, damn it.
It's kind of like this. That gives you more experience than anybody. All right, here we go. Men, forward! Sir, we have a security breach. What? There's an unauthorized entry alert. It's coming from Sector 2.
Sector 2.
Sector 2?
Burn!
Cartman? Hello, Cal. Get out of your responsibilities, huh?
Who the hell are you?
That kid you have made a bet that if I could prove I saw a leprechaun, he would suck my balls.
Get him out of here.
Oh, hold on a second. I have a contract validated by the United States court system.
Let me see that.
Let me see that. You really agreed to suck his balls?
Why would you agree to suck someone's balls?
I didn't think there was going to be a goddamn leprechaun.
All right, you two can go use the conference room. Go on, we have work to do here.
What? Well, wait, I want to see what happens here.
You signed an agreement, kid. We don't have time for this. Go on and do it.
Signed an agreement, Kyle.
Stan? Dude, you did make a deal.
You had a deal, Kyle.
The conference room is which way?
Yes. Cartman goes through all that.
Which way?
So now Cartman are in the room together, and while Kyle is preparing to suck Cartman's balls, Kyle tries to explain the situation to Cartman as being more important, but Cartman, of course, cuts him off mid-sentence by yawning loudly, saying he doesn't care about anything but getting his balls
sucked. Yeah, I mean, that is fair. If you have a contract, or if there is any situation as to where you can get that done to you, to yourself, to your balls, Matt and Joe, I mean, obviously top priority.
So, of course, Cartman dressed up in some royalty, and, he's nagging on Kyle. Can we just get on with it? Oh, we will get on with it, Kyle. Feeling famished? So...
Ball hungry?
Ball hungry? Ball starved. At that point, then the soldiers enter the portal, and upon arriving into Imagination Land, they meet the woodland critter Christmas critters. And remembering the woodland critters from Cartman's story a few years ago, Stan, of course, warns the scientists, get them out of there. But it's too late, as the woodland critters are already raping them.
Damn.
Thanks for raping me! So let's show that scene of Stan realizing, oh shit, there's woodland critters here. So here we go. As the army is entering. Kurt Russell.
Nice young Kurt Russell, too. No
Right?
bone tomahawk Quentin Tarantino ass Kurt Russell. Who basically looks like Hulk Hogan now.
Kurt Russell, can you hear me? We're here.
Yeah.
We're somewhere. They are inside the imagination, sir.
What
do you
that's
see
the
in
greatest
there?
impression of Kurt
There's
Russell.
Big
It's
mushrooms,
almost like he's here.
colorful grass, some castles in the distance. Wait. Something's coming for us. It's coming out of the bushes. It's a... Oh, it's just a cute little squirrel. Hey, it talks. A little squirrel talks. Aw, an imaginary talking squirrel.
Oh.
Ask the squirrel what it knows about the terrorist attack. Wait a minute, the squirrel has friends.
Get him out of there.
Why, it's a whole bunch of woodland critters.
Dan.
Wait, woodland critters.
There's a talking bear and a beaver. They
He's
seem to be
thinking.
Christmas critters. Hello.
Oh,
Yes, hi.
it dawns.
Get them out of there.
What?
Tell them to get away now.
What's the matter? Oh,
They're Cylons.
little
They're all
bears' eyes are starting
Cylons.
to glow red now. Hello there, little animals. Do you
Wrong series.
Kurt Russell, what's going on? They're raping
My God.
me. They're raping me. Get out of there, Kurt Russell. They're raping all of us. Oh, it hurts. They're raping us and it hurts.
They're so fucking descriptive. They're raping us and it hurts.
Kurt Russell's best performance since the Christmas Chronicles.
Right? So then now we're back in the conference room with Cartman and Kyle. Cartman continues to torment Kyle, but they are interrupted when a soldier enters and tells them that everyone must proceed to the main room. Of course, Cartman angrily follows, outraged at being disrupted once again. So here's a little bit of that as Cartman and Kyle are in the room, and, he's about famished.
I was thinking about using a high-speed shutter with a low depth of field. What do you think?
God damn it, Cartman, will you stop wasting time? I want to get this over with.
No, you're right, Kyle. A higher depth of field will make sure everything stays in focus. There we go. Now, Kyle, when you're sucking my balls, are you going to think about how right I was about the leprechaun, or are you just going to try and focus on how rough and salty my balls feel in your mouth?
Let's just do it.
In time, Kyle. You certainly are eager for balls, aren't you? Are you ball famished? Ball starving? You see, Kyle, I wonder if at this moment you're actually...
Everyone to the main hall, now, go!
No, we're not done in here yet.
Everyone to the main hall, now!
All right, so there you go. And of course, Cartman does not get his balls sucked there. Butters, Snarf, Snarf, and the Lollipop King are in imagination.
Sorry, 1 second. It's actually Butters, Snarf, Snarf, and the Lollipop King.
Right. They sight Castle Sunshine, and they hurry toward it. And at the gates to the castle, a guard demands to know which imaginary character they are. Snarf and the Lollipop King enter, but Butters is not a character, and of course now is believed to have been with the terrorists because he arrived at the same time. So he's taken away by the guard. Now back in the Pentagon, a strange creature comes through the portal. He's like half man, half bear pig. No, I think he's like half bear, half man pig. No, actually, I think he's a pig and he's half man bear. As man bear pig comes through the portal, he attacks the people inside, strangles Kyle. The scientists try to suck man bear pig back in. By doing so, they also send Stan through the portal as well. What bothers me about this scene is I was watching it back today. Look, Stan gets sucked through the portal, right? I get that. Man bear pig is literally holding Kyle, and he gets sucked through the portal, but Kyle doesn't get sucked through the portal as well. I just always found that part a little confusing, that everybody in front of the portal got sucked through except for Kyle. I don't know. Kyle was being electrocuted too. Anyway. That being said, now we're in Sunshine Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Butters is took to see the Council of Nine, which is a parody of the Jedi Council. This council consists of Jesus, Asian Gandalf, an Asian guy, I guess.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Pull that up. Do we got an image?
All right, let me pull it up here.
Frank, in the back, can you pull that up?
All right, let's go to the Council of Nine here.
I mean, you said Asian guy like 5 times. I got to see this.
Was it Asian guy? I don't know.
Characters in all imagination.
What I have written down.
Fellow council, these are
The cards are from
dark...
Tron. There's Gandalf, Glenda the Good Witch of the North, Aslan, I believe Zeus, Luke Skywalker, Popeye, Wonder Woman, and Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, not Asian.
Popeye.
No, I meant to say Aslan. I don't know why I viewed the L as an I, but I meant to say Aslan from the
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's a lion.
A lion.
Not an A.
God bless you for your assistant, Asian.
Gandalf the Grey, Popeye, Luke Skywalker, as Joe mentioned, Wonder Woman, Glinda the Good Witch, Zeus, and Morpheus. Zeus explains that they should leave, but Morpheus believes it is a trap. Glinda tells them they should go to the Temple of Andara, but Jesus explains they must fight, which Luke Skywalker agrees with, but Butters is led in and set up to Aslan. All right, so here's that scene. Now Butters here.
Times. The evil forces amass at our gates as we speak. Zeus believes we should evacuate. Yes, their power outmatches ours. If they are giving
That's a better Aslan voice than Aslan.
Take it. And what say you, Morpheus? How are we to know that they will let us go? Their offer could be a trap.
Perhaps we must flee to the Temple of Alderaan. Surely they wouldn't chase us there.
No, we can't. Come on, you guys. This is our home. We have to fight to keep it the way it is meant to be.
I'm with Jesus. The evil characters aren't going to just let us go.
That may be, Popeye, but we don't have a choice.
Maybe Popeye.
Forgive my intrusion, Council of Nine, but this boy is infiltrated from the real world.
Bring him here.
Bring him here.
I like how Snarf has literally got the same chain cuffs. I don't like this, Matt.
All right, so we'll get to that now. So as we mentioned, Man Bear Pig, when he came through the portal and he, got sucked back in, Kyle was electrocuted, and as a result, it looks like Kyle died. As they're going to try and have to bring him back to life. So many attempts to revive him. The scientists finally give up. Despite wishing so many times for Kyle to die, though, Cartman is both angry and upset by Kyle's death, since it means he won't be able to suck his balls.
Yes.
Unwilling to live with this, a desperate Cartman actually manages to revive him by using CPR. So let's go to this scene. It's a very emotional scene, too, as far as the cinematography of it, if you will, and the writing, and just the ability.
Agreed.
I like at this point in the episode, it gets so emotional that they drop out all the audio, right? And it's all quiet just to emphasize how important this scene is here. So let's show here Kyle trying to be revived, and then Cartman saving his life.
Okay.
I'm sorry. He's gone.
No, Kyle can't die.
I'm sorry, young man.
Kyle?
Well, at least now he doesn't have to suck anyone's balls.
Oh, you should have said that part.
No! No, he has a strong heart. He wants to live. Come on, Kyle.
No.
Come on,
South
buddy.
Park, don't do this to me.
He's gone, little boy.
Zap him again.
Trying to resuscitate Kyle.
Charging.
Do it! Come on, buddy.
Clear.
Come on, buddy. Get out of here. God damn it, Kyle! You never walked away from anything in your life. Now fight! 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 Right now! Fight! 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 Get him some air.
He's breathing.
Breathe easy.
Get him some air. Carmen's feeding him oxygen right now.
Cartman takes over as the fucking doctor there. They're all just in shock. Get him some air. Get him some air.
Yeah.
What a very emotional,
Shock him again.
very emotional and powerful scene there in the world.
That was insane. Yeah, you're right, Matt. They literally did. They dumped the audio out. There's just some light,
yeah, very emotional.
That was fucked. I mean, you're even more right. If it was complete silence, that would have been fucking brutal.
So on one spectrum, right, you've got Cartman, who shows his emotion. He, of course, doesn't want his friend to die because, secretly, of course, even though he rips on Kyle, he does like him, as it was proven in the San Francisco episode as well. But in this instance, there was motivation behind it, because if Kyle dies, he's not going to get his balls checked. So it's a little bit of a paradox of good and evil there, right? Cartman's intentions are not the best. I'm going to save your life so you can suck my balls, but because of that, your life is saved, right? Just like in the 24 episode, his ignorance and being racist stopped a terrorist attack. Hill dog! Hill dog! Right?
Is that apple juice?
It gives me really bad fat. So now back at Sunshine Castle, the Council of Nine believe that Butters is the key. And Butters is reluctant, of course. I don't want to be the key. And Aslan tells him to believe in himself, and he will be all right.
Sorry, Butters, you're the key.
So let's go to Butters finding out he's the key. Man, you really have to be the key.
I believe this child was brought into Imagination Land for a reason.
He has no shirt on.
Perhaps the mayor knew something.
He took his shirt off.
What are you saying, Aslan? That if we are to take back control, we might... If we are to take back control from the evil forces, this little
Morpheus
boy might be the key.
My God.
The key? Could I not be the key, Morpheus? I don't want to be the key.
If you ever want to see your
Sorry,
home
buddies.
again, little boy, you'll have to rise to this challenge.
But I'm supposed to be at school right now, and instead I got Snarf and Popeye and Luke Skywalker all pissed off.
It is a dark time for all of us, young boy.
You
But
must
know
imagine
that
a
if you believe
crest
in
gel.
yourself, everything will turn out all right.
Everything will turn out all right. Aslan, that has not worked so far in Imagination Land, buddy. I'm really sorry. Pep talk is not going much anywhere.
So here's the climax of the episode, of this particular episode. The military prepares to launch a nuclear weapon through the portal to nuke the imagination. And then it ends with Kyle in the hospital, and Cartman shows up bedside, ready for him to suck his balls, which is just great. He doesn't even freaking wait for him to get out of the hospital and like recover. I saved your life. It's time to suck my balls. So let's show you the ending here of the episode, and then we'll get into some trivia and some pop culture on another episode here of SMB. It's South Park Review.
Sir, are you sure about this? We have no choice. Terrorists have attacked us where we are most vulnerable. There's no other option. We have to nuke our imagination.
They've got the nuke ready. It's pointing at the Imagination Land portal.
All right, now in the hospital here with Kyle and Cartman.
And Cartman. He's got contract in hand.
Just how he just wake up, it's time.
How long was he there?
Right? That's a good point. That's a great point. Well, we'll talk about more trivia, pop culture, and some references to continuity in the episode, if there is any, right now, back on the other side. We'll be subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park Review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed, and you'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park Review. And we are back on the other side. Once again, shout out to all of our sponsors provided by Spreaker. If you're listening to this on the podcast format, please support them if they align with your values and needs. If you're watching right here on YouTube, no ads right now. Maybe one day it will with some monetization. Thanks to you, the subscriber and the viewer, who have just been spiking our numbers over the last 30 days as well. We appreciate you. Almost 30,000 views in the last.
We love you as much as you love our balls.
We appreciate you. Now, of course, if you've been listening to the show for a long time or you're just a brand new listener, we've been mixing it up and doing things a little bit different. I, of course, am your host in the heat and it can't be beat. I'm your guy who's high with the air is dry, your boy, MSG. Follow us as a podcast by going to SouthParkPod on all outlets, SouthParkPods on Twitter, and SouthParkPodcast on Instagram. Each and every week, as you heard throughout the episode, I am not alone. This week joining us, this man likes to bring the pain in the digital marketing game. He's the man that solicits those pics to get your clicks. He's a writer, director, executive producer of Derby City Championship Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, Dane Becker.
Oh, I'll make you buy whatever I want you to buy, baby.
Nice to have you back again, Mr. Becker. Always a pleasure to have you on the journey.
I never leave, Matt. I just sleep here and wait for you guys to come back.
That's very cute. That's cute. That's cute.
It's cute.
And of course, making his way back to the podcast as we segue into the next segment here on the podcast itself. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is a doctor of thugonomics, punkonomics, polyphonics, scooponomics. He is the 2022 South Park Red Rocks Day 1 Trivia Champion. He's affectionately known as a trivia god. Ladies and gentlemen, reading the trivia once again, Joe Vernola.
All right, let's get this trivia started. Characters from previous episodes include Jesus, obviously, who's been in a bunch, the Woodland Critters, and Man Bear Pig. Kenny does not appear in the episode beyond the recap. This is the only episode where you see Gizmo from Gremlins not covered by this Comedy Central logo. And when Morpheus is talking, he has a normal closed mouth. But when he does not talk, he has lips. This is something that's shared with Jared Fogle from the Jared Has AIDS episode.
Looking good, Subway sandwiches. Before you continue into the references to pop culture, Joe, I just want to make clear for the viewer, maybe who didn't watch the episode, they're listening to it. When Joe referenced the fact that there was Gizmo in the corner, what he's referring to is the way they animated it. Gizmo is in the corner, but the Comedy Central logo actually covers that evil character, if you will, in the previous episode and in the next episode. So you never can actually see him because he's so small. He's in the corner. But in this episode, you can actually see him. So that's what Joe was pointing out. Joe, continue on, though, with some pop culture.
The DVD version of the episode opens with a parody of the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, with a long flyover snow-covered mountains, which carries on over South Park and into Butter's bedroom. Cartman's dream parodies the dream Maximus has in the 2000 film Gladiator, which we pointed out. Kyle's mouth sewn shut may be in Cartman's dream, may be a reference to the Matrix, however. The opening scene of Butters dreaming of waking up only to find the opposite may allude to a scene in a Monty Python's Flying Circus sketch known as the Bicycle Tour. The Imagination Doorway parodies the movie and television franchise Stargate, which they blatantly point out themselves. In fact, when the boys are brought into the gate room, a few chords from the theme for the movie can be heard in the background. This fact is made obvious when the military hires Kurt Russell, who plays Colonel Jack O'Neill in the movie, to go through the doorway first. This next one is just the makeup of the Council of Nine, which we went through. But again, real quick, Aslan from Chronicles of Narnia, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, Popeye from Popeye, Wonder Woman from Same, from Wonder Woman, and Glinda, the Good Witch of the North from The Wizard of Oz, and Morpheus from The Matrix. Castle Sunshine is a replica of Rivendell from The Lord of the Rings. There are a ton of Lord of the Rings references in these 3 episodes. The scene where Cartman is giving Kyle CPR is a parody from a scene in the movie The Abyss, and the mayor telling Butters to tap his heels 3 times is, of course, a reference to The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizzies.
The Wizzies. And then finally here, just some references to continuity. After seeing the Woodland Critters' evil personalities, Jason Voorhees said, "I wouldn't want to meet the kid who created those things," of course referring to Eric Cartman, as you mentioned, in Woodland Critter Christmas. This is another instance of the government attempting to solve problems by nuking things, also seen in the episode A Ladder to Heaven. Where were you when they built that ladder to heaven? Did it make you want to cry? Or did you think it was kind of gay? Well, I, for one, believe in the ladder to heaven. Oh, now.
9/11. Okay.
9/11, 2 9/11 songs I got in this episode, both different from different characters.
We've mentioned 9/11 in this episode around 208 times.
Yeah. This is one of the 2 episodes that shows Cartman's penis. The other episode that showed his penis was in Good Times with Weapons, when he thought,
the hell, let's go.
When he
Thank
thought
God.
The imagination.
Thank God.
I have the power of imagination, of invisibility.
I appreciate that trivia being included.
This is the second time Predator attempts to kill Butters, the first time being Butters' very own episode. This is the second time Cartman saves Kyle's life, as I mentioned, the first time being in Smug Alert. This is the first appearance of Queen Spiders, as you mentioned, Dane, since Red Hot Catholic Love. And then Kyle effectively dies in this episode, but is revived by Cartman. In previous episodes, he is briefly shown to die of AIDS in Cartman's Christmas story at the end of Woodland Critter Christmas. He also died during his own dream sequence in Cartoon Wars Part 1. And that was with Kyle! So that is some of your references to pop culture, continuity, trivia, your full recap. Joe, what did you like about this episode?
It lays the base for the Sector 2 joke, which becomes a bigger part in Act 3, Episode 3, whatever you want to call it. The Council of Nine, including Jesus, I always thought was a funny little kind of at Christianity, Judeo-Christian religions, more specifically Christianity, but the woodland Christmas critters reference when they just come out now. Now don't fight, y'all. Like the second they came out, I'm like, oh, these are gonna be the most evil motherfuckers. Period.
Right. Anything you didn't like about the episode? Anything that fell short for you?
Nothing really. I can't think of anything that I didn't really like. Another thing I liked was that it extends the joke of Cartman just having latent homosexual tendencies.
It's true. Dane, what'd you like about this episode?
This episode's amazing because it is the Empire Strikes Back of Imagination Land, people. We get a great cliffhanger. We're left on a dour note. Kyle, it's just like Empire. We're right back to where we started. Kyle still has to suck balls. America is still going to bomb something. And Imagination Land is torn asunder. We got Butters might be the only key. It really is. It's a really nice cliffhanger middlesome. So I think that would be the thing I like about it the most.
I liked the I have dry balls dream. That's one of my favorite parts of this episode. I have dry balls. It's also in our intro as well. It's probably why I'm probably why I'm biased to it. I also like the emotional scene, which I referenced earlier, of Cartman bringing Kyle back to life. I thought that was just, as far as character arc and development for both Kyle and Cartman, it was an emotional scene between two people that you obviously think hate each other, but at the end of the day, you don't want them to die, right? And furthermore, I think we've also had friends in our lifetime like that, where you're like, I don't really like this guy. He hangs out with our clique, but I don't want to see this guy like die or get hurt or anything like that, right? And of course, Cartman had an ulterior motive in this instance as well, as he was reminded that if Kyle had perished, he would not be able to suckle and gargle his salty, vinegary balls. So that's what I liked about that episode. There wasn't much I disliked. I also like the Kurt Russell stuff. Kurt Russell's funny. Just him getting thrown in there. What am I doing here? Well, you were in a movie that was similar to this. I like the mindset of Americans or South Park. You were in a movie, so you could totally do this, right? Adam Sandler is like totally like it.
I mean, honestly, with the rise of streaming services, as even South Park has taught us in the streaming wars, that's all you really need.
Yeah, that's all you really need. You just got to know as long as you're in a movie or a TV show, you're fully experienced.
Hollywood now employs more people than the federal government. Basically, everybody. If you want a show, just go make a professional pitch. Just go. As
it's been shown, the path to the presidency is through reality TV. So
absolutely.
Netflix. Hello, Netflix. You're already
dead. Joe and I were in the same place at the same motherfucking time when that train hit, buddy. Joe's the best.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for another edition of SMB, a South Park review. Check my badge. Of course, as I mentioned at the top of the show, and after the commercial break, you can go to SouthParkPod on all outlets. South Park Podcast on Instagram, South Park Pods on Twitter, and hopefully you're watching it right here on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe button. You'll be notified when more content like this drops. I also uploaded a classic episode from Season 1, as I'm still making my way through and uploading the Season 1 episodes. I uploaded An Elephant Makes Love to a Pig. That is available right now on our YouTube, along with Imagination Land Part 1 and now Part a Deuce.
Some really great reactions on that episode. I highly recommend the classics.
Mr. Becker, what do you got going on in Louisville, Kentucky?
Louisville, Kentucky. I'm not sure. Louisville, best known for its bourbon, its dry wines, and its horse racing, but also the United Wrestling Network's Derby City Wrestling, coming Sunday, March 26, 2023, to the Norton Healthcare Sports and Learning Center, 3029 West Muhammad Ali Boulevard. That's going to be Louisville, Kentucky, 40212. Bell time is at 5 p.m. We've got World Championship Moose, AEW, WWE stars. Do you want tickets? Yes, you do. It's DerbyCityWrestling.tv. Again, that is DERBY CityWrestling.tv. Talent subject to change without notice. But hey, we got some great people coming. United Wrestling Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man in Colorado is your doctor of thugonomics. He's also a writer and booker of Primo's Pro Wrestling. Joe, you got a big event coming up in March, don't you? Tell us about it.
We got a few coming up in March. March 19th is the second Disrespectful Young Boys Cup. That will be at the Roxy Theater, 2549 Welton Street in 5 Points, Denver. That is when the youngest, well, we shouldn't say necessarily young, but like our guys who have been training for about a year or so, 2 years or less, that really are still looking to find a way to prove themselves, get this opportunity on the 19th. And then March 25th on Fight.tv, we have the 2023 Alpha 9. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you follow us on social media at Primo's Pro Wrestling on both the Instagram and Twitter, and Primo's Premier Pro Wrestling on Facebook. And we will be dropping announcements for that Alpha 9 throughout the next week or so.
I highly recommend the Disrespectful Young Boys at the Roxy Theater, March 19th, 2023. That's going to be a great show, Joe. Prices start at $17, don't they?
Yeah, $17 after fees. Yes. You went to the website, huh?
It's a great show. It's a clean show, and it starts at 7 p.m. Sunday.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have anything to announce other than I'll tell you guys off air in a second. But other than that, this has been another edition of SMB, a South Park review. We'll be back next week for the final episode in this arc, Imagination Land, part number 3. What happens to Butters? Does he become the key? Will Kyle actually suck his balls? Find out next week.
Primo and Derby City Wrestling people, let's go!